Code Compliance Board, and I call this meeting to order. The NSB Code Compliance Board of January 6, 2025. The procedures of this hearing are to provide due process to every respondent and the city in accordance with Florida State Statute 162.073, which states formal rules of evidence shall not apply, but fundamental due process shall be observed and shall govern the proceeding. Hearsay is admissible, but only to support other competent, substantial evidence. Other evidence must be presented. Are there any questions? Any decision made today can be appealed by sending notice of appeal to the circuit court within 30 days of the execution of the orders per Florida State Statute 162.11. Can we have roll call, please?
Yes. Dan Coffer?
Here.
Clifford Warren?
Here.
Albert Szymanski?
Yeah.
Aaron Dennis?
Here.
Kathleen Brown?
Here.
Ruth Kazmarek?
Here.
And it's noted Michael Slayton is absent.
Okay. Does any board member have any ex parte communications to disclose?
No.
For the record, there's none. Has each of the board members had time to approve the minutes of the November 21st, 2024 meeting that was held?
Make a motion to accept the meeting.
Do we have a second?
Seconded.
Who's second?
You gotta be quick.
You beat me.
Dan Coffer?
Aye.
Clifford Warren?
Aye.
Albert Szymanski?
Aye.
Aaron Dennis?
Aye.
Kathleen Brown?
Aye.
Ruth Kazmarek?
Yes.
Okay. Can we have the swearing in of any city staff, respondents, and witnesses that are going to testify today before us?
Please stand and raise your right hand. In the matter to which you are about to give testimony, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? The witnesses have been sworn in.
Okay. First case then.
Code case 0581, 536 North Dixie Freeway. Officer Jason Yates presenting.
Good afternoon. This case is CCSM. This was actually originally a magistrate case, but we had a little unsure if we were going to have a magistrate. That's why it's here today, so just to clarify any of that. This case was previously heard on October 23rd, 2024. At the time, the special magistrate granted a continuance of this case to allow time to correct this issue. On July 17, 2024, the special magistrate found Cryptocurrency Mining Inc. and or entity in violation of Section 74-146, Local Business Tax, and Land Development Regulation Section 504.02, Regulation by Zoning District, and gave a new compliance date to be heard on 1/16/2025. If the special magistrate found that the violations were not corrected by this time, by this date, a one-time fine of $250 per BTR and $50 a day for zoning requirements shall be imposed for each day the violation exists. The board order was mailed certified mail to the property owner on October 23rd, 2024, and was delivered and signed for on 10/28/2024. The change of use application was submitted on 8/13/2024 and was approved with conditions on January 15th, 2025, yesterday. It is my recommendation to the Code Board to continue this case until the February 26, 2025 special magistrate hearing. This will give the property owner time to consolidate, modify, or completely remove any unnecessary business licenses that are registered to the property, and if not currently in use or operating from that location. They will also need to meet the required conditions of the change of use for that property. In the event that this isn't completed by the February hearing date, then I recommend a one-time fine of $250 per BTR and $50 a day for the zoning requirements commencing on August 16th, 2024, until the property is brought into full compliance, fine not to exceed the maximum amount of $20,000. So it's a little confusing, and I apologize if I know you guys are kind of coming into that one. It's just there was an issue with the BTRs originally. The property And when it was brought up that the BTRs could not go and be inspected based on that there was a change of use that was needed for the property, it started a whole thing going. We've kind of been back and forth. Things finally got approved as of yesterday for at least a change of use, but with conditions, is what I stated. And then from here, we're just kind of waiting on BTRs. There's a bunch of them that are seem to be using that address, so we're trying to just figure out which ones are going to be ones that they're going to continue using, or which ones they can dissolve or get rid of and not use. And so that way we know exactly when we come in to do the BTR inspection, how many properties we're actually inspecting, or how many businesses we're inspecting. So I'm just looking for the continuation date on this, just to get it back to the magistrate side where it was, but this is the kind of the court date of where we're at, so.
Any questions from the board? Can we get a motion?
I make a motion to accept the officer's recommendations.
A second?
I second.
Thank you.
Dan Copper,
Aye.
Clifford Warren,
Aye.
Albert Schmansky,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
Aye.
Kathleen Brown,
Aye.
Ruth Kasmerek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify compliance with this order, and also be aware that the respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondents within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation, of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Next case.
Code case 0402, 629 Doris Street. Officer Barbara Bobelak presenting.
Good afternoon, Happy New Year. So this case is also a case that was continued from the special magistrate to be brought before you all today. The property is located at 629 Doris Street. The case was first heard on September 25th, 2024 at the special magistrate, who found Bobby Jean Bresnowitz and/or entity in violation of City Code Section 26.9.14.8, 26.9.14.9, and 26.9.14.13, and gave until 10/18/24 to bring the property into full compliance. The magistrate found that the violations still existed and on the property on this date. A fine of $50 per day per violation shall be imposed for each day the violation exists. The magistrate order was posted on the property on 9/30/24. The board order was certified mailed to the property owner, and was signed for and accepted on 9/28/24. On 10/18/24, an inspection was conducted by John Parks and found that progress had been made. However, the property was still in violation. On October 23rd, 24, the special magistrate continued the case until January 16th, 24, to allow the time due to Hurricane Milton. The magistrate order was posted on the property on 10/24. The board order was certified mailed to the property owner, and was accepted on 10/28/24. On January 10th, 2025, an inspection of the property found the property is still in violation. A re-inspection of the property today showed that it still remains in violation. Ms. Bresnowitz did call this morning to discuss her case. She, for some reason, thought that her property was in compliance. So I informed her during our conversation that my findings as of this morning, that the property does remain in violation. It's still overgrown. There's still items located all over the front yard, and she had inquired with me about more time to bring the property into compliance. I told her that is up to the board today. I do have some photos that I took this morning. She asked that I revisit this afternoon because she thought she was going to have some more stuff cleaned up. I went by this afternoon. I didn't take pictures because it all looked the same to me.
Is there anybody in the audience that would like to testify on this case? Please come up. Have you been sworn in yet?
No.
Okay, you'll need to be sworn in before you can.
And I'll finish with my recommendation. So she was requesting until February 20th, 2025 to bring the property into compliance. It's staff's recommendation to the board to impose a fine of $50 per day per violation commencing on October 18th, 24, until the property is brought into full compliance. Fine not to exceed the maximum amount of $10,000.
Ma'am, please stand and raise your right hand. In the matter to which you are about to give testimony, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? The witness has been sworn in.
I live on the block. I've lived there for 30 years.
Can you come closer so we can record it?
I've lived on the block for almost 30 years. This has been an ongoing thing. A lot of the homes through there are being demoed and commercial properties are being put in there. And her house's coordinates with another gentleman. He's the one that let her go down through the side. Well, now the problem is we're having a lot of burglaries. We're having a lot of night walkers. We're having transits that are sleeping in her front yard. My son's got his house is right across from her house. He's got a big old camera that just shines right on it. And the police, as a matter of fact, they were there again today. The son was screaming from midnight till 4 o'clock this morning. His little girl got no sleep. She's 7 years old and could not go to school. It's a mess. She's opened up the back she's renting out. She's got people coming and going. She's got bicycles out there. They go get beer and they scream and yell all night long. I mean, it's been going on for years. And we are just, I'm 60 and I know the people beside me are 60 and her neighbors in his 80s. And we just want some peace, and we just don't know how to get it. The police have got over 50 police reports, and they were out there again today because of them partying. They get a big bonfire going, and that's her cleanup. That's what she thinks is, I think she has some mental problems, but her daughters both were willing to help her, and she told them to get off the property. And she will not take help from the public. We volunteered. My husband has a dumpster business, and offered to put a couple of dumpsters out there for her. She had one dumpster out there, and she put all of the debris from the hurricane in it to make it look like she was cleaning up. She took nothing from the backyard, nothing. And it's just a mess. It's not an eyesore, as you can tell.
Okay.
So we were just hoping to either help her, she doesn't want that, or be fine, but whatever it takes to start. Because you guys keep giving her extensions for her health. Now we gave her an extension because of the hurricanes. And it still didn't get cleaned up. Everybody else got their stuff tidied up, but that house still stays the same. So that's the way we feel about it on our block. And I'm the crime watch. I watch the crime watch on there, so I write all the stuff down that people do. And my son says, you don't believe all the drunks that go over there and just lay in the yard. They sleep in the yard. There's untitled boats there, untitled cars there. It's just a mess.
Okay. Well, thank you for your comments.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Will you sign in, please? Thank you.
Any questions from the board for Barb? No questions for Barb? Okay. Then do we have a motion?
I make a motion, Barb's recommendation of finding, is it $50 a day? not
Per
to
day.
exceed?
Commencing on October 18th.
Yes.
Okay.
I second the motion.
Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Clifford Warren,
Aye.
Albert Szymanski,
Yes.
Aaron Dennis,
Aye.
Kathleen Brown,
Aye.
Ruth Kazmarek.
Yes.
The motion carries.
The
Thank you.
respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify compliance with this order and to also be aware that respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondents within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Next case, please.
Code case 0498, 538 Julius Street. Beverly Abrahamson presenting.
Good afternoon. On October 23rd, 2024, again, this is another case from the special magistrate, but the special magistrate found Richard Paul Walker, Carl Lorenzo Walker, and Robert Lee Walker and/or entity in violation of the codes cited for IPMC 302.1, IPMC 302.7, IPMC 304.2, 304.3, 304.6, 308.1, sections 26.914.8, and section 6632, and gave until 1 p.m. November 27th, 2024, to bring the property into full compliance. If the special magistrate found that the violations were not corrected by this date, a fine in the amount of $50 per day per violation for IPMC 302.7 and sections 269148, and $25 per day per violation for the remaining violations shall be imposed for each day the violation exists. The special magistrate's order was posted on the property on October 24th of 2024 and also mailed, certified mail to the property owner, and was delivered and signed for on October 26th, 2024. On January 16th, the follow-up inspection showed violations cited still exist. Therefore, it is my recommendation the board impose the fines in the amount of $50 per day per violation for IPMC 302.7 and section 269148, and $25 per day per violation for the remaining violations, and the fine shall continue until the property is brought into full compliance. The fine shall not exceed the maximum amount of $15,000. And I did go by there this afternoon, and the property is just getting worse.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak about this case? For the record, none? Any questions from the board members?
This case was opened in June of '24, is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep, June 14th, 2024. We got a complaint that there was no water on the property and the property was in bad condition. Apparently there was somebody living in the property without any utilities. But that's hearsay. I don't know if there was or not. I've never found anybody there. We did find a dog in the backyard that was tied up, and we took care of that dog. But other than that, apparently the 3 brothers own the property, 2 have passed, there's 1 left. There was a purchase agreement to sell the property, but I think that fell through because of the code violations on the property.
Any other questions? Do we have a motion?
So move, I recommend.
I'll second that.
Sorry, so that motion was to accept her recommendations as stated?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Clifford Warren,
Aye.
Albert Schmansky,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
Aye.
Kathleen Brown,
Aye.
Ruth Kazmarek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify compliance with this order and to also be aware that the respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondents within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation, of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Next case, please.
Excuse me 1 second.
I'll do it.
I'll introduce.
You got it?
Yeah. We have code cases 0523 and 0545, which are 3837 Sandstone Court and 3839 Sandstone Court. Officer Beverly Abrahamson presenting.
This is a duplex owned by the same owner. That's why we decided to do them together. This is a case that was before the special magistrate as well on September 19th, 2024, and the board found Oslet Holdings LLC and/or entity in violation of Section 72-171A permit required and gave until 1 p.m. October 11th, 2024 to bring the property into compliance. If the board found that the violation was not corrected by this date, a fine of $50 a day shall be imposed for each day the violation exists. On October 17th, 2024, the board continued this case until the January of 25 code compliance board hearing. The board order was mailed, certified mail to the property owner, and was signed for and accepted on October 23rd, 2024. The board order was also posted on the property on October 22nd, 2024. On December 18th, a new application was submitted and is going through the review process at this time. On January 6th, 2025, I researched the permitting software and found that the first application that had been submitted had been withdrawn by the contractor, and there's a new permit now going through the permit process. It is the board's, it's my recommendation, the board imposed the fine as ordered on September 19th, 2024 in the amount of $50 a day to begin October 11th, 2024 and run until the property is in full compliance with a permit issued or until the fine amount reaches the maximum amount of $20,000. And then on the one for 3839 Sandstone Court, same recommendations, same dates, same fine to be issued.
It was, if I remember correctly, this was due to the one contractor leaving and another contractor being hired?
Correct,
Okay,
yeah.
this is the one I remember. This,
Oh, sorry, I think I said sections, the wrong section of code. It's sections 26-171A.
for both of them,
Huh?
for both of them.
26. Is it 26 or 72? Okay. My number's getting crossed. Yeah, so this one, I found someone doing work without getting a permit. And like I said, they have come in, they've got an application submitted now, and it's going through the review process. And the property owner's here as well.
They started the work before the permits.
Correct.
Would anybody like to comment on this case from the audience? Come on up, sir.
Good afternoon, I'm Jake Gress, the owner. I guess the question probably being asked is, why is this not complete? As mentioned, we did have to switch contractors. Unfortunately, I had to terminate the contractor in October. Their closeout for the inspection to ensure that those permits could be canceled didn't complete until mid-November. I've since rehired a new contractor in December. We've gone through the process to apply for all the permits needed, and we're just waiting for that to see its way through.
So if I could, you applied for the new permits in November
December,
or December? Okay.
yes.
And how,
Once you hired the new contractor.
Correct, I hired the new contractor early December, and we applied, I think, like mid to late December. For the
do
new
we have
permits.
an estimated date of approval on the permits?
The violations are fairly simple, so on 3837, which if you're looking at the duplex is the property on the left, we put down new pavers in placement of the existing driveway, as well as some pavers in the back, all within the fenced-in area. The property on the right, we did a one-for-one replacement on pavers that were in the back porch area, so we didn't change the footprint of anything. Those are unfortunately already installed, so we're ready to have, once the permits are approved, somebody come out and close these out.
Work was done before permits.
I guess in short, I think we're ready to have an inspector to come out and close the permits once issued. It's just a matter of getting it through the process.
Any other questions from the board members?
Thank you.
Okay. If there's no other questions, do we have a motion?
Can you repeat your recommendation, please?
On each case, it is my recommendation the board impose the fine as ordered on September 19th, 2024, in the amount of $50 per day to begin on October 11th, 2024, and run until the property is in full compliance or until the fine amount reaches the maximum amount of $20,000.
Sure.
I just want to add, because I'm a little disappointed by that recommendation, that at the onset of this, we had about 6 permits that we had applied for, 3 of which have been closed out and signed off on, so we have been attempting to make as much progress as possible. I don't think anybody in here wants to complete this as quickly as I do, because there's holding costs for this, and my wife and young children are anxious to get into the place, so I do want to say that we have been trying to make as much progress as possible.
Okay, thank you.
I will make a motion to give him the additional, at least a month.
Another 30
No
days?
more than a month to,
Just a question, point of information. You say you're ready for inspections, final inspections, or roughing inspections? What kind of inspections you?
Yeah,
ready
for the pavers, we're ready for them to inspect.
Pavers are done?
For 3837, there was also a violation for interior work being done outside the scope of the original permit. It's all aesthetics, and unfortunately, it's been done. Simple flooring, cabinets, such. So that's ready as well.
And there was an amendment filed for the work that was outside the scope?
I'm sorry?
Was there an amendment filed for the permit for the work that's done?
There's a
outside
new
the-
permit that's been
That's all
requested.
done?
Yes.
So in other words, what you're saying is you're caught up with all your permits and you're just waiting for an inspector to approve it?
As soon as we get it, yep, we'll send for the approval, and then they'll come out. Yep. Bearing that they don't request anything significant that we have to change or remediate.
So we have a motion on the table for an extension of 30 days. I guess I would be looking for a
I'll
second.
second it. I'll second it.
Okay, then we have a motion.
Can I ask, so that would bring us to the February meeting then? We would-
February 26th meeting, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Dan Coffer?
Sorry, just one point of clarification. So the motion is to continue until the next time this board meets? Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was asking, if that would,
Yeah.
the 30 days would meet out with the next meeting.
To our next meeting,
Our next meeting is February 20th.
20th.
Yes.
Okay.
And if I could just clarify, so that month extension is to address the violations, right? Because we have permits for other things that haven't even started.
We're talking about these 2
Okay,
violations.
gotcha.
That's all that's before us.
Okay.
Dan Coffer?
Aye.
Clifford Warren?
Aye.
Albert Szymanski?
Aye.
Aaron Dennis?
Aye.
Kathleen Brown?
aye.
Ruth Kasmerek?
No.
Okay. 5 motions, so the motion carries.
The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify the compliance with this order, and to also be aware that the respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondents within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation, of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case.
Next case is 0624. It's Wallace Road. Officer Beverly Abrahamson presenting.
This as well was a special magistrate case that was heard back in October. On October 23rd, 24, the special magistrate found Homer and Myra Williams and/or entity in violation of the Land Development Regulations 504.01 and gave until November 22nd, 2024 to bring the property into full compliance. If the special magistrate found that the violations were not corrected by this date, a fine in the amount of $100 per day shall be imposed for each day the violation exists. The magistrate order was posted on the property on October 24th, 2024, and also mailed certified mail to the property owner and was returned unclaimed. On December 26, 2024, an inspection of the property found that progress had been made. However, the property is still in violation. On January 10th, 25, an inspection found the property an inspection of the property found the property is still in violation. And I just did an inspection this afternoon as well. It is staff's recommendation that the board impose the fine of $100 per day commencing on November 22nd, 2024, and continuing until the property is brought into full compliance. Fine amount not to exceed the maximum amount of $15,000. These are the photos that I took this afternoon.
Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak about this case? Will you state your name for the record?
Sir. Homer Williams.
Were you sworn in? Were you sworn in?
Ma'am.
Were you here for swearing in?
Was you here for swearing in? Did you raise your hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Now, we was hoping we'd get it done yesterday or today, but my alternator went out on my machine, and we like 2 or 3 hours, but she came out today, and I talked to her. The windows could have been done today if our machine hadn't broke down. We'd done them all by hand the last 2 days because the alternator went out. I can't get one till Monday. But the debris that she was talking about all out there is from homeless. It's been accumulated over the last 6, 8, 10 years. I've had the police department come out and had me to sign some affidavits all the last 2 or 3 months, giving them permission to go in and try to run them out. The window part, there's 2 stacks still there that I can probably move by hand in 6 to 8 hours. But while we were talking about it, I was just wondering, will the city pick up the homeless debris out there that if I rake it up, put it up to the front or not? I don't know. I just pinched pennies and everything I have for the last month till I'm getting squared away again. But we lost a bunch of money on a job up in the other coast. $70-something thousand 2 or 3 months ago. We just now trying to overcoming it. This it's nobody's fault but mine. I did not know that you couldn't set construction debris on a vacant lot unless you had a building on it. She told me today that you had to have a building on the property to store anything. So I found that out today. But as far as getting the windows out, if you look, there's 2 stacks right there left. Rest of them ready to get out, gone. I get the windows out, but I would like the little station to try to get this stuff with my machine next week pushed up, maybe towards the road where the county can pick it up or city, whoever it is, or not, you know. I'm gonna need a little time to get some money up to haul it off.
And how much time would you need, sir?
30 days. I would have had it this month, but my wife went through cancer surgery last month. We've had a lot of ups and downs last month. This is not I didn't start on it till Sunday because I was out doing a job last week at the racetrack trying to make $10,000 to pay all this, you know. I got a couple other issues. Everything I'm trying to get done is I got some people from South Florida's gonna be on the phone with me tomorrow on a lot of this stuff to help me get everything sorted out. I've been trying to do it by myself, but sometimes friends help.
Any questions from the board members?
Yeah. Is that stuff yours?
Sir?
Are those windows and the storage things and the truck, is that yours?
Yes, sir. Yes.
How long has it been there?
I brought them in, I think it was probably about September, October. August. I mean, it's my vacant lot. I thought we could store them there. I didn't know it until 2 months or 3 months later. It wasn't just put there for a junkyard. It was there for a bid. Our bid is built right construction. I bought the property because of the zoning. It's got 20-something, though 38 zonings. I didn't know that you had to have certain regulations to take a vacant lot and store your building supply from your company on it. Evidently, there's rules in different ways. You got to go back. I didn't know that. I would have never put them there to start with. But I did not know it. I've got property scattered all over southeast Georgia and Alabama and everywhere. But I did not know that you see the windows at the picture. They were in racks. We took the lift and set them off, not knowing. Now they look scattered around because we had to load them by hand. But the debris that's left, when I get the windows up, and I can have them loaded up 2 hours if I have to, in the homeless debris in there is probably 10 dump truck loads. So, you know, they try to keep the homeless out of there. Evidently, they ain't been successful with it. I bought the property now, I guess I'm stuck with it. But, I got dump trucks, I could ever get fined and a little time to get hauled in here, I guess it has to go to a dump or somewhere. I mean, I can separate it all out there and show the board where this is stuff that's been there when I bought it. The windows is the only thing I brought in the truck, parked the truck. Other than that, I hadn't got it done last month like I wanted to, but circumstances, we've paid $160-something thousand on back invoices and bills that we had to pay, whether we got paid or not. We've done that. I got $700-something thousand we're working on. We hope to have somebody tomorrow getting it all wiped out for us. And when they do, then I can wipe out all my problems in a week or two. But they got to have money to. And when you're 78, she's 84, you got to do what you got to do.
Sure.
So, sir, if this was pushed to the February meeting, do you think you would have enough time to have it done by then?
Well, I'm still breathing, I will.
Okay.
Thank you. Do we have a motion by the board? Any member of the board?
Well, I'm sort of wanted to discuss it, but I'm in favor of pushing it to the February meeting to give them some more time.
And to do that, but keep the fine going all the way back to.
Can I make a motion to support her recommendation?
November 22nd
November 20.
was the compliance date.
Second, yes.
So we have to take the motions in order. So
In
if there
order.
if there is a motion, it can be seconded, then you could vote on that. If that doesn't pass.
Well, then I'll,
But it's,
okay, well then I'll move that we push this to the February meeting.
Okay. Do we have a second on that one?
I'll second it.
You'll second that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Clifford Warren,
no.
Albert Schmansky,
No.
Aaron Dennis,
Yes.
Kathleen Brown,
Yes.
Ruth Kasmerich.
No.
So motion failed. So do we have a new motion?
I make a motion for the officer's recommendation.
I second it.
Thank you.
Dan Coffer,
No.
Clifford Warren,
Aye.
Albert Schmansky,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
No.
Kathleen Brown,
No.
Ruth Kasmerich.
Yes.
Still 3-3.
So we have an even number, so we're sort of at an impasse, I guess.
Where's our other person?
All right, so the board needs a new motion then.
Might I recommend more conversation amongst the board members?
So, yeah,
Before you keep voting.
I don't know if we're allowed to do this, but maybe you can tell me, Grant. Are we allowed to just set like an arbitrary date, like 2 weeks from now, regardless of the hearing in February, to have it in compliance by
We
then?
can make any motion.
Okay, and then if it's not done by then they have the authority to start collecting the fine.
Going back to.
Yeah, so is that something we're able to do, even if there isn't a meeting on that day?
Correct. You could still set a different date and have the fine start back to, whatever your recommended date for that would be, but that would extend the time instead of tonight to 2 weeks from tonight,
I
if
see,
that's
yeah.
what the motion were.
Yeah, so maybe if, I'm just discussing it, but maybe if we did that on February 1st, that's 2 weeks, that's sort of in between now and the next meeting. So,
Check in 2 weeks.
yeah, so that would be my motion, is that we push it to February 1st, I guess.
So if I can understand your motion,
Commencing the fine back to.
Yes.
November.
can I, point of clarification. So what you're proposing is give them 2 weeks?
Yes.
And if no improvement, then we go flying back to this week. Is that
November
correct?
22nd.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I just want to
Yeah, I think that's a
understand.
middle ground.
So, I think for the record, though, you should repeat the whole motion so that we can have a second on it.
I'm moving that we give him until February the 1st to go into compliance with the fine being effective on the date that she mentioned.
That's okay. Thank you.
Yes, that's 2 weeks.
So do we have a second on that?
I'll second it.
Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Clifford Warren,
Aye.
Albert Schmansky,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
Aye.
Kathleen Brown,
Aye.
Ruth Kazmarek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Sir, you got till February
1st.
1st.
Okay, but, can I just meet with them, and what about the trash and stuff? Can I put it out by the road that be picked up, or what?
That's a question for the inspectors. That's a question for the inspectors,
Okay.
okay?
But the rest of it, but you can come by anytime next week, so I'll have we can inspect it.
All right, so the motion carries. The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify the compliance with this order and to also be aware that the respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondents within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next case.
Code case 0635, 478 Palm Street, Officer Beverly Abrahamson presenting.
Sit down until we call your case, your other case up,
Oh,
okay?
I'm sorry.
Okay. 478 Palm Street. This is a new case? No.
No.
This is still, yeah. All right. This property is zoned R3, single-family residential. This one. Oh, no. Sorry, give me just 1 second. There we go. Sorry. Okay, so this case was before the board November 21st, 2024, found in violation. Let's see. The violations were section 26902, section 26914, IPMC 304.2, protective treatment. The respondent was given until 1 p.m. January 16th, 2025, and shall notify the, we don't need that information. The fine, it would be $50 per day for sections 26902 and $25 per day for section 26914 and $25 per day for IPMC 304.2 protective treatment. That's, staff's recommendation is to impose the fine as ordered.
Is there anybody from the audience? Ma'am, come on up.
Hello, committee.
And if you can state your name for the record?
My name is Christy Hunter. I am the owner under Change LLC. Those are some old pictures that she have up there. This particular property.
I just took those today.
Oh, so you could see. I have diligently, I'm just coming out my husband passed away, and I became the owner of the LLC. And I have been extensively working on getting everything done that anytime they tell me there's a problem, I try to take care of it immediately. The last step that she have up there, the vehicle has been removed. I told her it was operable, but it has not. It has been removed. That was last month. The windows have been, I have bills here, replaced windows. Only persons trying to get in there is kids breaking windows. I have had no burglaries. Kids broke out the windows. I paid to get all of the windows refixed. The boards are taken down. I thought when I came up last time, I was getting new roofing to secure. I'm getting a brand new roof put up. I had put a deposit down back October, and found out when I talked to her in November that the permits had not been pulled to get all of that stuff fixed, all of that. The hurricane blew up the top of the roof, so I said I'm just gonna get it all replaced. I had to fight. When I found out, I paid a deposit of $6,500 to the roofer, which I recommend nobody use these roofing people, because I had to get my money back because I found out 2 months later in December that they had not started and had not pulled permits to get that done. I have since secured some new roofers, Beavers, getting a new roof, and I think I just got confirmation today to make sure to verify my roof color and all of that stuff, but here is the paperwork from them to get all of that boards replaced, all of that stuff replaced. I don't know what else she want. I have put in the money, I put in the time, and I'll come back and forth until everything gets done. I'm planning on living in the property. I have security, since you've probably seen the security cameras. I've had security cameras, no trespassing. I have had no break-ins, like I said, and I keep the property mowed every month, every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whenever it's needed. And I'm getting things done. I didn't even know I had to, from the last time I talked, I'm getting, I have the receipt. I'm getting new floors, the walls were horrendous. I don't know who, they had this zigzag wall stuff going in there, so I just got somebody to come in, repaint and refloor. And I was planning to be living in the house in December by my birthday, but lo and behold, having to get the new contractors out there, the Beavers contractors to do the roof, I'm not able to, I'm not gonna be there until probably, they getting ready to start on the roof, but I don't think it's gonna take them that long, but they say it's usually like a 3-4 week process to get everything done, and she'll be able to see when they pull that permit, but I have paperwork right here saying that they're in the process, because I signed a letter of commencement or some kind of notice of commencement. Yeah, I signed the notice of commencement, so everything should be in the process. My plan is to make the whole block awesome and look good and shine. And you will see a difference. I think that side of that house is cleaned up. The side you said it needed to be clean. It was clean, and I'm gonna have the whole house spray, pressure wash. Somebody just failed to have the pressure washer when needed, but I'm getting everything taken care of on that property. To have it lived in, I'm not putting it on, what you call it? Placing it in.
Oh, the property registered vacant.
It's not a vacant property. I'm planning to live in that property, so that needs to be taken off the board. I'm not.
So Beverly, does 26902 then still stay on the violation list then, or? how is that gonna work?
She's not there. She lives in Houston.
I'm back and forth. I come as often as possible. I have flight privileges via my late husband. I live back and forth. And, I can come here as often as needed. And I'm usually here once a week when I'm here.
That might be a legal question, then do you need to register that as a vacant property then?
Go ahead, Barb.
So I'll just weigh in on the vacant property registration a little bit. The property is currently not occupied, as she stated. If she is working on getting permits and there's going to be construction going on in the building, in the home with permits, and there's permits issued and it's not, you can't occupy it, then yes, that would go away. But if the permits aren't issued or going to be issued, then it would not go away.
Okay.
She does have a roof permit issued.
Right. So yeah, I would say if the staff's recommendation is to remove that because she's taking steps to occupy the house, then you can consider that, and obviously you wouldn't have to impose a fine for that.
And I do have receipts for the
That's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
all of that, my floor, all of that.
Just make sure they get permits.
So, at this point, would there be any questions from the
Before
board
they
members
start
on this
work.
case?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I might have missed this, but is the vehicle still on the property?
No, it's gone.
It left last month.
Okay, so the 302.8 then, would that need to be removed, that violation?
Okay, so the slides that are up right now are from the first hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. But so the protective treatment, we can take off. The motor vehicle was removed from the property. She's fixed the windows, she's replaced the glass and removed the boards from the windows.
So on my order, those are the 3 violations on the official order that I have here then. I have the registration, exterior windows and doors, and protective treatment is what's in front of me here.
That's on the order.
And the permits would cover the,
Motor vehicles not even on this.
Oh, okay.
That's
the old.
or 2 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's got permits, bills.
All right, can we just continue it until next month then?
Can we have a motion from the board?
Yeah, I move we continue it to the next meeting.
I second the motion.
Dan Coffer?
Everything is complete? I mean, what do we need to?
I'll call you.
Okay. Okay.
I still have another case to go over, so I'll give you a call.
If I need to, be back, I mean, I was planning on having stuff moved in by the next meeting. Okay,
Good.
I ain't gonna even, okay, thank you.
Dan Coffer?
Aye.
Clifford Warren?
Aye.
Albert Szymanski?
Aye.
Aaron Dennis?
Aye.
Kathleen Brown?
Aye.
Ruth Kazmarek?
Yes.
Motion carries.
The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify the compliance with this order and to also be aware that the respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondent within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Next case.
Code case 0636, the address is 2505 Hill Street. Officer Beverly Abrahamson presenting.
On October 23rd, 2024, this case was heard before the special magistrate, and the special magistrate found Homer and Myra Williams and/or entity in violation of the Land Development Regulations 802.07A, Section 269141, structural integrity, Section 269145, exterior attachments, Section 26914111, swimming pools, Section 26171A, permits required, Section 269142, exterior surfaces, Section 269149, trash and debris. Section 269141 for outdoor storage, and gave until 1 p.m. December 4th, 2024 to bring the property into full compliance. If the special magistrate found that the violations were not corrected by this date, a fine in the amount of $50 per day for sections 26171 and sections 26914 and 2011, that's 2691411, and $25 per day per violation for each of the remaining violations shall be imposed. Special magistrate's order was mailed certified mail to the property owner and was signed for and accepted on October 28, 2024, and a copy was posted on the property on October 24, 2024. On January 16, 2025, a follow-up inspection showed the violations still exist. It is my recommendation the board impose a fine of $50 per day for sections 26171 and sections 26-91411 and $25 per day per violation for each of the remaining violations commencing on December 4th, 2024 and continuing until the property is brought into full compliance, with the fine amount not to exceed the maximum amount of $10,000.
Okay. One technical thing here, on my order here that I have, the sign, there's only 4 violations out of all the ones that are listed or shown here on the list. I've only got 802. Oh, okay. All right, I'm sorry.
There should be 8. Good?
Okay.
Okay.
Any questions from the board?
The property owner's here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like to speak on this case, ma'am? Or this, sir?
Again?
Oh,
Is it him again?
Homer Williams.
Interesting.
go ahead.
Oh, it's like,
They're gonna impose a fine if you don't tell them what's going on with your house.
we're supposed to have a rearrangements on our financing. Hopefully I talked to the lady today. She's gonna get back on the phone tomorrow. We're probably gonna go for a slight reverse mortgage and finish everything the way we want it, the way we've been wanting it for 40 years, 44 years, but things have hit us in the face the last 6 months. I've tried to get all I could get done at the time with the financing I had, and so what, like out here. But the permit, I went down and been trying to get a permit, engineered some drawings. And one guy put me off about 3 weeks, and I got a hold of him, and he said he couldn't do it then. And then the holidays come up, so I hadn't been able to pin down an engineer to draw me up something for a permit. It's not, the permit, getting a permit ain't an issue with me about the taxes or the value of the house or any of that. It's just, I got to get somebody to get my drawings done, and then before I go get a permit, the way I understand it. So, I've got something in the works. Next week, we should have where we can roll again. Because what I do, I want to be able to knock it out quick and get through with it. But now I just don't. Eating is about all we got left is a hamburger every day or two. But the finance on the house is the insurance company. I had a $368,000 damage. And it like $100-something paying what I was supposed to get fixed. I took too short of amount of money on the insurance, so we done as far as we could go. And thereafter, we're going to just have to do it ourselves. And that's the reason I'm going after some additional financing. I should have brought the paperwork with you, but I forgot it. But I can present you the paperwork, give you a copy tomorrow, whatever. The appraisal's supposed to be done, which they told me there wasn't no problem there, because appraisal way more than what we want to get. But I just needed to get this here, then I could pay it off, they said I could later, a year down the road or whatever. But I'm not trying to drag my feet on it. We don't hurry up, we ain't gonna be here to enjoy it no way. But that's what I'm up against right now, one way or the other. I'm either gonna sell the dang thing, if I get where I can't do it, you know, get something done, my health goes down, something happens to me, I don't wanna leave her with an unfinished problem there. So right now, I don't have nothing I can say that I can't go hold a gun on that, but I am pushing to get some drawings done and get me a permit. Permit, there's nothing any better I'd like to have than have a permit for it. But I can't, the holidays and everything else is just loaded me up. And then we got as much as we could do at the time. Dump fees and this, that, and the other, you know, adds up. But with $100-something we had to pay off to keep from lawsuits and bankruptcy, I don't care about all that stuff. We done every way we could to wiggle things around to get it to this point where we just about out of the hole. We just like to dust the dust off. And, you know, that other little bit of money, you know, you got as much equity. I got that home, but I'm not a beggar. I don't go to family. I don't go to relatives. I try to do it myself, me and her. And our pride now has got above what we can afford.
Well, thank you for that. Any questions from the board?
There was a stop work order issued in August 24, and I see the pictures here. What's the progress? Has work still been done since the stop work order?
So he had a roof permit to get the re-roof done. He's pretty much completed the roof, and the permit is not, it's expired now. So he hasn't gotten any of his inspections. He's replaced all of the windows and doors on the second story. I don't know if it's second or third story, but on the rear side of the property towards the beach, you can see that
Okay, I guess my question to be a little more frank. Has work been done since the stop order has been issued?
no,
Okay.
no.
That's what, okay.
And I thought I was gonna say that
He also has an unsecured swimming pool. There's debris all over the place. Him and his neighbor are arguing about fence and a wall and water damage. And
well, the neighbor's issue is her problem.
they don't need, yeah.
And no permits.
That's what we need to make clear.
Okay. So,
Well, the one re-roof permit he had, but it has expired.
so Beverly, what would he have to do to get the stop work order removed, filed for permits? Is that correct?
Yeah, he just needs to get permits for everything.
Okay.
I don't know if there's exposed wiring. I mean, the whole side of that house looks like it's just, I don't know, I'm not an inspector, so.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, you said there's plumbing work there, that would be a plumbing permit, you probably have electrical permit, so.
Structural permit for the roof.
And an engineering permit, from what I've seen, was a structural safety.
Any other questions from the board?
No.
Can we have a motion from the board?
Can you repeat your motion, Beverly?
Yes. My recommendation is for the board to impose a fine of $50 a day for sections 26-171 and section 26-91411, and $25 per day per violation for each of the remaining violations commencing on December 4th, 2024, and continuing until the property is brought into full compliance, with the fine amount not to exceed $10,000.
I make a recommendation to take the,
I second that.
What was the recommendation?
To accept the
accept
Okay.
the recommendation.
Got it. Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Clifford Warren,
Aye.
Albert Schmansky.
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
No.
Kathleen Brown,
Aye.
Ruth Kazmarek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, her motion carries, her recommendation carries and voted on by the board, so you will be found in violation. you
They
want to?
found it in violation, they're gonna start imposing the fine,
Yeah.
okay? So
I hadn't
get
done
your
nothing.
drawings.
You know that.
I
ain't
do.
done that.
Well,
I even told her asked her a month or two ago, if it's a problem when I added on there without the permit proper, I'd take my men 2 or 3 days, we'd take it back down. It won't affect the rest of the house. I'll just take it back down until I get the permit and start over. I don't know what else I can do.
Okay,
I
well,
take
thank
it
you.
back where it was.
Okay,
And they can come do inspection, whatever. But I can't force people to do something before I can handle it. But I'm willing to take 2 or 3 of my men, we can take down everything we put up there in a day or 2 if we have to.
Okay.
Put it up in a week, take it down in 2 or 3 days. And if it's a handicap to the board or time consuming or anybody's use for it, I'll do what I've done wrong, I will take it down and start back over.
okay,
I don't know what else I can ask.
okay, thank you.
thank you.
Also, the respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify the compliance with this order and to also be aware that the respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondent within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Okay, thank you, sir. Next case.
Code Case 0527, 817 Downing Street. Officer Barbara Bobolak presenting.
Really? You're gonna interrupt?
Sorry to take your show.
This property is located at 817 Downing Street. The violation cited was 74-146, which is local business tax. On August 28th, 2024, the special magistrate found M. Jill Dempsey and/or entity in violation of section 74-146 and gave until September 18th, 2024 to bring the property into full compliance. If the violation was not corrected by the state, a one-time fine of $250 shall be imposed. The board order was mailed, certified mail to the property owner and was signed for and accepted on September 3rd, 2024, and the property was posted on August 29th, 2024. The local business tax application was submitted to the city on September 18th, 2024, and was going through the review process. The owner stated that she had made several attempts to submit the application prior to that date and was having problems with the system, so she got in touch with Kathleen Adel, the business tax specialist, and she helped her complete the application. At the hearing on 9/25, the special magistrate continued the case to October 23rd, 2024 to give the city time to review the business license tax receipt and the owner time to schedule the required inspections for the approved business license tax application. The order was sent certified mail and accepted on 9/28/2024, and the property was also posted on 9/30/2024. On 10/23/2024, the special magistrate continued the case to the January 16th, 2025 hearing to be presented to the Code Compliance Board. She continued it at the last hearing to give the owner time to clean up the property from Hurricane Milton, and to make, when I talked to the owner, she stated she had a few things that needed cleaned up and a few minor repairs to take care of. So since that time, I have emailed the owner to remind her that she needed to have her inspection scheduled and completed before today's date. So the board order from the last hearing was mailed certified mail and was signed for and accepted on November 9th, 2024, and the board order was posted on October 24th. The last email that I sent to the owner, I did not receive a response, and as of today, the inspections have not been scheduled. So it's my recommendation that the board impose the one-time fine in the amount of $250 per Florida State Statute 205.053 business tax receipts, dates due, and delinquent penalties.
Any questions from the board?
Before the email, there was registered,
Yeah, the application was submitted, and she just hasn't
no,
followed
but
through.
she was sent certified letter and it
Yeah,
was signed for.
all this certified mail that has been sent has been
The email
accepted.
wasn't returned.
The email was not returned to me, but she
Thank you.
just gave up, I guess, I'm not sure.
I'm just clarifying for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Can we have a motion?
I so move that we accept the recommendation.
Okay, a second?
Oh, did she want to speak?
Is
The
there
lady-
somebody here to
Here.
speak?
Are you here for this?
Oh,
Yeah, she
Oh.
raised her hand.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please come.
I thought y'all were gonna get to me, but that's okay.
No.
I went to the
Please.
wrong place, so I haven't been sworn in.
Okay, perfect.
That's all right.
Please stand and raise your right hand. In the matter to which you are about to give testimony, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I did.
The witness has been sworn in.
And for the record, can you state your name into the microphone?
I'm sorry, say that again?
For the record, can you state your name into the microphone?
Oh, yes, it's Marion Jill Dempsey. I go by Jill, but that's where the M comes from. Okay, so I've had a little bit of a challenge just keeping up for 2 years. The day of Hurricane Nicole, I have a 501c3 animal rescue here in town. The day of Hurricane Nicole, I was at the farm getting all the animals ready. I came home and found my husband dead, floating in the hot tub. Immediately, everything just flipped upside down. I had hurricane damage on 1500 Golden Court. That, I can't even go into that, but that was a huge project. It took me 6 months to get going back and forth with the building department to get permits. That's all been done. It's fabulous. That's all been complete. I had 2 tenants on this particular property that were being evicted that I couldn't even get in to do inspections. The property has been cleaned up. I have 3 fantastic tenants, praise God. And I don't doubt I don't even remember. I don't doubt I got certified anything. I can do inspections anytime. I've got 3 great tenants. To tell you the truth, when I walked in, I didn't even know I was here. Thankfully, I put code hearing on my calendar, and it popped up at 4:15, and I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. So I raced down here, went to the wrong building. I'm sorry. I can schedule these anytime. I don't have an excuse. I just haven't been able to keep up. And luckily, everything's fantastic. Everything's fantastic. So, thankful. All the stuff that hit the fan, I've gotten through. And
Okay,
That's
well,
it.
well, thank you.
That's
for
it.
Thank you.
Any questions from the board members for?
Is this the only violation?
If no questions, do we have a motion?
3 tenants, so that's gotta be.
November, did you say November I got something?
Yeah, there was, October, actually.
Okay.
I emailed you, you accepted the certified mail on November 9th.
I remember getting an email from Kathleen.
Yeah, and I
And
emailed you prior to that.
Okay, because Kathleen was like, Jill, I promise I won't let you forget, because I'm like, Kathleen, you know, I got this and this. She's like, I won't let you forget, and, you know, it's not her job. But the first, oh, never mind. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion on the board?
I move that we push this to the February meeting.
Motion's been made. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Clifford Warren,
Aye.
Albert Schmansky,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
Yes.
Kathleen Brown,
Aye.
Ruth Kazmarek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
There you go, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, and
The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify the compliance with this order and to also be aware that respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondents within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Next case.
real quick, Beverly, do you mind if I ask a question? Why, you might have mentioned it, and I apologize if you did. Why are we getting these cases from the magistrate?
The special magistrate that we had retired. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, I think I remember hearing about that actually at the city commission meeting.
Yeah, she retired, and we just had not, we didn't know. There was a whole process
But
to
they have
get
a new one now, so there was sort of some uncertainty, which is why this, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Next case is 0659, address 1626 Beacon Street. Officer Beverly Abrahamson presenting. Nope, sorry, that was withdrawn. Excuse me. Not following my own agenda. Let's start over. Case 0519, 3828 Sandstone Court. This is new business. Officer Beverly Abrahamson presenting.
Okay, so this is a duplex with one owner, thank God. On June 26, 2024, I was driving through the cul-de-sac and spotted a for rent sign advertising long-term rental in the front yard. After researching Intergov, I found that there was no BTR for this property, which is a violation of city's code, section 74-146, local business tax imposed. I generated a courtesy notice with a compliance date of July 12, 2024, and hand-delivered it to the tenant that was living in the house. On July 24, 2024, I spoke to the neighbor. He told me there has been a new tenant that moved in recently. On July 29, 2024, I called and spoke with property owner Carl Fielder. He told me that he and his wife had divorced and he no longer owns the property. His wife owns it, but she lives in the house down the road. On November 26, 2024, a notice of violation was posted on the property with an initial compliance date of December 19, 2024. A copy was also mailed, certified mail to the property owner of record, but could not be delivered based on the USPS tracking website. There has been no further contact. On January 16, 2025, I researched Intergov and found that there is still no BTR submitted. It is my recommendation that the Code Compliance Board find Equity Trust Company, or I don't know if that's care of, or, but anyways, custodian, FBO, Carl E. Fielder, IRA, and Judith Rensland, and/or entity in violation of section 74-146, local business tax imposed, and give until February 6 to bring the property into full compliance. If the owner does not come into compliance, it is my recommendation to impose a one-time fine in the amount of $250.
Any questions?
No.
Motion?
Make a motion for the
Second.
officer's recommendation.
We have a second?
Second.
Dan Coffer,
Aye.
Clifford Warren,
Aye.
Albert Schmansky,
Aye.
Aaron Dennis,
Aye.
Kathleen Brown,
Aye.
Ruth Kazmarek.
Yes.
Motion carries.
The respondents are further ordered to contact the code inspector to verify the compliance with this order and to also be aware that the respondents have the right to appeal the order when it comes out within 30 days. Any violation of the same code by the respondents within 5 years from the date of this order shall be treated as a repeat violation of which a fine up to $500 per day may be imposed. Yes.
We have a discussion item.
Yeah, I see that. I was gonna bring it up.
We'll try to make it quick. It's mainly going to be on y'all. So what we've been experiencing is we're printing the hard copies for everyone to review here. Now that we have everything automated, we're wondering if it's possible for us to do away with the hard copies. Most of the hard copies, I don't even know if they're used, and the agendas seem to be getting bigger and bigger, so it's costing us a lot more money to print the agendas. So we just thought we'd put it on here for discussion to see, is everybody okay with the digital in front of you? Or is anyone interested in having a hard copy to review here at the hearing? So we're just looking for your input.
Are you still going to send us
The digitals.
everything ahead of time?
You'll still get the email with
Yeah.
the link to the agenda
Yeah, because
to review
this
prior
one
to.
required a fair amount of time, so.
Well, my
Yes.
personal thought is this is a waste of paper. Because the way you guys explain everything and we see everything up on the screens here.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
The
We
print,
can go paperless.
yeah, to have 7 of these printed, to me, I think it's a waste.
Kill too many
Myself.
trees.
Yeah, see, now the code compliance board can go green, you know, can save a few trees.
I motion.
Save money for the
Yeah.
city.
Save time.
All right, so pretty much everybody's in favor?
Yeah.
Everybody's in favor?
Yeah, totally fine.
All right.
Thank you.
So do we have to?
Thank you.
Is that a motion, or are we just?
Now, we're
I
just
think
gonna
it's
agree to it.
discussion, just-
Sounds
yeah.
good.
I.
And we'd also like to let y'all know that we appreciate everybody and for what you do helping us get through these cases, because some of them are getting more and more difficult.
Yes.
No, you guys worked very hard, thank you.
All right, we'll
Right?
end this meeting then. Thank you.
On that note.